Let's look for a minute at icons of all Leonardo da Vinci. We're all familiar with his work, with his fantastic work, his drawings, his paintings, his inventions, his writings. But we do not know his face. Thousands of books have been written about him, but there is controversy and it remains about his looks. Even this well-known portrait is not accepted by many art historians. So what do you think? Is it a portrait of Leonardo da Vinci or isn't it? Let's find out. Leonardo da Vinci is a man who drew everything around him. He drew people, anatomy, animals, plants, landscapes, buildings, water, everything. But no faces? I find that hard to believe. His contemporaries made faces, ones that you see here, emphasis or 3/4. So a passionate drawer like Leonardo must have made some portraits from time to time. Let's try to find them. I think if we were to scan all of his work and look for portraits, we would find his face looking at us. So let's look at all of his drawings. There are 700, more than 700. So I look at more than 700 portraits and I look for made portraits and there are 120 that you see them here. Which one of these are portraits? Well, for that, they have to be done as we just saw, 3/4 over a face, so we can eliminate all the profiles. Also, they have to be sufficiently detailed, so we can also eliminate the ones that are very big or very stylized. And from contemporaries, we know Leonardo da Vinci is a very handsome, even a very beautiful man. So we can also eliminate ugly ones and caricatures. See what happens. Only 3 candidates remain that fit the bill. Here they are. Yes, indeed, the old man is there, and as is the famous drawing, a pen drawing of the Homo vitruvianus, and lastly, the only painting of a male by Leonardo, the musician. Leonardo painted the musician. So before we go into these 3 portraits, I should explain why I have some right to talk about them. I have made 1,100 portraits myself for newspapers over the course of 30 years only. But there are 1,100 and few artists have drawn so many portraits, so I know a little bit about drawing and analyzing faces. Okay, let's look at these three portraits. Hold on to your seats because when we zoom in on these faces, remark how they have the very same forehead, horizontal eyebrows, long nose, carved ribs, and very developed small chin. I couldn't believe when I first saw that. There is no reason why these three portraits should look alike. All we did was just to look for portraits that have the characteristics of a self-portrait, and they are very similar. Are they made in the right order? The young man should be made first. And as we see here, from the years they are created. Yes, it is indeed the case. They are made in the right order. What's the age of Leonardo when they were at the time? Does it fit? Yes, it does. He was 33, 36, and 63 when they were made. So we have three pictures potentially of the same person and the same age as Leonardo at the time. But how do we know it's him and not someone else? We need a reference, and this is the only picture of Leonardo widely accepted. This statue is made by Verrocchio of David, for which Leonardo posed as a boy of 15. And we now compare the face of the statue with the face of the musician. You see very same features again. So the statue is a reference and it connects the identity of Leonardo to those three pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, this story has not yet been published, and it's proper that you hear a TED, see and hear it first. The icons of icon finally has the face. Here he is, Leonardo da Vinci.